is an exhibition that looks at new interpretations on the Baroque in contemporary art, capturing the exuberance, drama, symbolism and classicism of the Baroque period through the work of two London-based contemporary artists, Rebecca Stevenson and Daniel Hisego. Rebecca Stevenson's sculptures reinvent Baroque vanitas, the memento mori so popular in the early modern era. She uses motifs such as game birds, flowers, fruit and skulls, reimagined as cornucopia in glorious technicolor or patinated and gilt bronze. Her principal influences are Baroque painters from Northern Europe, such as Jan Wieniks and Jan Davis de Heem, who depicted the newly minted wealth of Dutch merchant society to suggest how earthly riches were ephemeral, much like life itself. Beautiful game animals, fruit of the hunt that would soon spoil if not eaten. Flowers whose glorious beauty was fleeting and fragile. Rebecca updates this tradition in her wax and resin sculptures, with a particular focus on the image of the swan, a motif both of elegance but also corruptible flesh. This work, Melancholia, depicts the swan hung upside down, its body billowing with bright fruit and flowers. The same motif appears in a group of marbled plaques, each one luscious and finely modelled. The swan also appears in one of a pair of seashell sculptures, combining the motif of the game bird with the imagery of coral, a popular symbol in Renaissance and Baroque art for both the blood of Christ as well as youth and fragility. The nautilus shell is another quintessential motif, suggesting growth and renewal. All are executed in wax, a medium with centuries of tradition in describing the fleeting nature of flesh, from Roman death masks through to the wax portrait pictures of the 16th and 17th centuries, and as a medium for anatomical models from the 17th century onwards. Rebecca both maintains and updates this tradition with her dazzlingly exuberant sculptures. Alongside are works in bronze that also use wax in their process, but in the creation of solid, weighty objects. Memento mori of skulls with Baroque flourishes. Vessels wrapped in fruit and tumbling doves, highlighted in gilt. Wax and bronze, physicality and the ephemeral. Rebecca's work updates the timeless themes of the Baroque vanitas for a 21st century audience. Daniel Hisego works in both ink and printmaking, looking at Western art's fascination with classical culture and transposing it into a 21st century context, replete with mobile phones, selfie sticks, billionaires, and the COVID virus. Many of his references are anchored in the Renaissance, but he gives them a dramatic and sensual Baroque treatment in the style of Peter Paul Rubens. His works begin as finely detailed ink drawings, executed straight onto paper without preparatory sketches. They have echoes of Albrecht Dürer, but with a comic book crispness. He even has his own monogram reminiscent of the German artist. Daniel then scales these works up into screen prints on perspex that he executes in unique colourways, referencing pop artists such as Andy Warhol and also Roy Lichtenstein, but with a mythological lilt. A minotaur gazes distractedly into his phone as Icarus falls from the sky, above a landscape studded with power stations and factories in a work that echoes this painting by Juste Momper from 1620. A stag-headed Acteon photobombs Diana and her nymphs while they are taking a selfie in a wooded grove, lending the famous Titian painting a drama that is both Baroque and pop. Note the baseball cap on Acteon and Diana's selfie stick. An interior presents Artemisia Gentileschi's Judith beheading Holofernes as part of the Me Too movement, while Harvey Weinstein looks on in chains. And in MMXX, he describes a bacchanal inspired by the pandemic and the populist politics of 2020. A demon taken from the 15th century drawings of Martin Schongauer, plays Boris Johnson's head like a bagpipe. A Trump homunculus dances in the foreground, alongside a satyresque Jeff Bezos, who's counting his money. Bill Gates hugs a plague doctor in the background, while two putti hold the virus up in a bubble. Through his combination of high craftsmanship, sharp humour, and a Baroque sense of drama, Daniel questions the durability of art's love affair with the classical world, and tests its adaptability to our current cultural moment.